welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're taking a fresh look at something we interact with literally every single day.
Our homes.
Exactly, your home. But we rarely pause to, really understand it, do we?
Mm-hmm. It's true.
So we've compiled some fantastic sources for this deep dive.
Right. We've got everything from these really in-depth vocabulary guides by English educators
Yeah, and structured lessons, too.
on how to describe your living space, your neighborhood, all that good stuff.
Our mission today really is to go way beyond just, naming the rooms.
Definitely. We want to uncover the cultural nuances, maybe some surprising variations you haven't thought about.
And the specific terms native speakers actually use.
Exactly. The goal is to help you build a richer, more, vivid vocabulary.
So you can describe exactly where you live with confidence and clarity.
Get ready for some aha moments, hopefully.
So whether you're maybe planning a big move or you're learning English or you're just, really curious about how people live around the world.
This deep dive is for you.
Okay, let's unpack this. So before we even step through the front door, let's think about the structure, the building itself. What kind of home do you actually have? It sounds obvious, maybe, but there's so many distinctions.
There really are. I mean, we often start with house or apartment. Those are the basics.
Right?
But our sources really dig into the specifics. Like, if you're in Britain, you'd probably say flat, not apartment.
Good point. Same thing, different word depending on where you are.
Precisely.
And then there's the whole concept of stories, not, bedtime stories.
Right. Levels.
Levels, floors. So you might have a 2-story house or live on the, third floor of a 4-story building.
Mm-hmm.
But here's where it gets really interesting for a lot of people, I think. The difference between terraced, semi-detached, and detached houses.
Yes. This is crucial, especially, like you said, in the UK or maybe older parts of the US.
Well, what do they actually mean?
Okay, so a terraced house. Think of it like a row house.
Yeah.
It's joined to other houses on both sides.
Got it, like townhouses.
Kind of, yeah. Then a semi-detached house shares just one wall with a neighbor. So one side is open.
Okay.
And a detached house. That stands completely alone. Space all around it.
And these terms tell you more than just walls, right? They hint at space, cost.
Absolutely. They speak volumes about space, privacy, and, usually the price tag. Detached homes tend to be bigger, more land, higher cost.
It makes perfect sense. It paints such a clear picture. Yeah. Okay, what about apartments? Any key terms there?
For apartments, we see high-rise buildings, especially in the U.S.
Or tower blocks in the UK, right?
Exactly. And you also find converted apartments quite a bit.
Like a big old house split into smaller units.
That's the one. Or if it's just a single room combining everything, bedroom, living area, kitchen, that's a studio.
A studio apartment, right.
And some apartments even have more than one floor. Those are called duplexes.
Duplexes, okay.
And, knowing these specific terms, it really helps you describe your own situation so much more precisely.
Yeah, it's not just, I live in an apartment.
Right. It's, I live in a studio flat on the 10th floor of a high-rise. Much clearer.
Totally see that. Okay, quickly, before we go inside, the basic external parts.
Sure.
We've got the roof, obviously, walls, windows, doors, standard stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But some homes have extras, like a basement.
Or a chimney, an attic.
A garage.
Right. And this is where culture really comes in again. Like one of our Canadian sources, Bob, he really highlighted the basement.
Oh, yeah. How so?
Well, in many North American homes, it's not just, for storing old boxes.
All right.
It often holds the furnace, the hot water heater. It's like the functional core of the house, especially where it gets cold.
That's a great point. It's essential infrastructure.
And he also mentioned, interestingly, how common it is in Canada to take your shoes off right when you enter someone's home.
Oh, right. It's not quite as universal everywhere, is it?
Not really. It just shows these little cultural differences around comfort and, cleanliness inside the house.
Fascinating. Okay, let's move inside then to the heart of the home for many people, the kitchen.
The kitchen. So much specific vocabulary here.
And potential confusion, right?
Definitely. What's interesting is how one thing can have multiple names or names people get quite particular about.
Right.
Well, take the refrigerator. Almost everyone just says fridge.
True. Very few people say the full word.
And the stove. Okay. Technically, you've got the stove top on top.
With the burners.
Right. And the oven inside. But lots of people just call the whole thing the oven.
I remember reading that. Vanessa, one source, said she's a bit of a stickler about that.
Yeah, some people are.
She also mentioned her apartment, being from the 1920s.
Uh-uh.
No built-in dishwasher. She has a tabletop one.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's definitely not typical in most newer U.S. homes.
Really shows how things change, doesn't it?
It does. And it brings up appliances we consider standard. Like nearly every U.S. home has a microwave.
But Vanessa pointed out, in older places with less space, maybe not.
Exactly. And beyond the big stuff, you've got the range hood over the stove,
Chopping board.
a strainer for your pasta, maybe specialized things like coffee grinders,
Even simple things like plates. Big plates, little plates.
mugs for coffee. It's all about the practicalities of cooking and eating every day.
And speaking of eating, the dining area. Could be a separate dining room with a big dining room table.
Or maybe just a space in a larger kitchen.
And we heard about high chairs for babies, too.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you think, doesn't it? About your own kitchen. What words would you use to describe it accurately?
Good question for listeners.
Okay, from the kitchen's energy, let's move to where people often unwind. The living room.
The comfy zone.
Yeah, where we sit on the couch or the sofa. We put our feet up on the coffee table.
Ah, the coffee table. That's actually a great cultural note.
How so?
Oh, obviously you put coffee on it, but in the U.S. especially, it's really common to, prop your feet up on it.
Guilty as charged. Sometimes.
But in some other cultures, putting your feet where food or drinks go, well, it can be seen as quite rude. Or even, as one source put it, extremely gross.
Wow, okay. That's a big difference in etiquette.
It is. It's not about right or wrong, just different norms about respect and hygiene, even with furniture.
Good point.
Okay.
The name doesn't tell the whole story of its use. What about the TV?
Right, the TV, or television. Vanessa, our source with the older apartment, made a conscious decision not to have one.
Which is interesting because it's so typical in American living rooms, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And that room itself might be called the living room or a family room, main room.
Even a den?
Even a den, yeah. And you might find specific chairs like an easy chair or maybe a la-z-boy for maximum relaxing.
The ultimate relaxation chair. Okay, bedrooms.
Right. The bedroom, obviously the bed is key.
But the bedding, there's actually quite a range.
There is. You've got your basic sheets, maybe thin blankets.
And then quilts or comforters for winter.
Exactly. And here's something Vanessa pointed out that might surprise some people. Duvets.
Oh, yeah.
They're super common in Europe, right? But apparently not as much in the U.S.
Really? What do Americans use instead?
Often a top sheet plus a comforter, rather than the whole duvet cover and insert system.
Huh.
Ah.
That's definitely an aha moment for me. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it's one of those subtle differences.
So besides the bed and bedding, you've usually got a nightstand next to the bed, right? Or night table.
And a dresser or a set of drawers for clothes.
And the closet, of course,
Yeah.
where you hang clothes on hangers.
Can't forget the closet. And this connects to another idea, especially in newer U.S. homes, the master bath.
Or master bathroom.
Yeah, right. A bathroom connected directly to the main bedroom.
For privacy and convenience.
Exactly. But again, Vanessa's older place doesn't have one. Shows how designs change.
Definitely. Okay, next up, the bathroom. And here, there's a really crucial language point, especially about the word toilet.
Ah, yes. This trips people up all the time.
So what's the deal?
Well, in the U.S., toilet almost always means the actual object, the porcelain thing. The throne, as Vanessa called it. It's not really used to mean the room. So saying, I'm going to the toilet, it just sounds a bit, well, weird. Maybe even a little crude or dirty to American ears.
So what should you say?
I'm going to the bathroom. That's the standard polite way.
Got it. Bathroom for the room. And if you're out in public.
Then you'd ask for the restroom. Definitely not the toilet.
Okay, restroom in public, bathroom at home. Crucial distinction.
Very.
And inside the bathroom, don't forget the shower curtain and its liner.
Oh, yes, the liner. Vanessa mentioned how practical that is. Keeps the water in the tub or shower.
Seems obvious, but maybe not common everywhere.
Apparently not. Can lead to very wet bathroom floors otherwise.
True. We also have toiletries, all the stuff for getting ready.
Toothbrush, soap, shampoo, all that. And the less glamorous but essential tools. The toilet brush and the plunger.
Gotta have those. Okay, beyond the main rooms, what else might a home have?
Well, you might have a study or an office. Like Dan in the source material had his office desk and desktop computer.
Right, a dedicated workspace.
Many homes, especially houses, have a laundry room too, with the washing machine, maybe an ironing board.
Vacuum cleaner, probably stored there too.
Good chance. And sometimes there's just a spare room. Could be empty, could be for storage, maybe the guest room.
Lots of possibilities.
Yeah, it's really interesting how each space has its function, and the language just follows that function.
Okay, so we've toured the rooms, got all this great vocabulary. Now, how do we put it together to really describe our home and neighborhood? It's more than just listing things, right? It's about the feel.
Exactly. It's about the atmosphere, the characteristics, and the sources gave us some great words for this.
Like describing size.
Yeah. Is your place spacious or maybe a bit cramped?
What about light?
Is it light and airy or maybe dark? Does it feel cozy and comfortable?
Or maybe the opposite, like drafty in winter.
Ugh, yeah, or stuffy in summer if the air doesn't move well.
You could also say if it feels generally warm or cool, or if a location is convenient.
Convenient for work, for shops, yeah.
And we have to include the negatives sometimes, right? Like maybe it's noisy because you're near a main road.
Absolutely. Being honest about the downsides is part of a good description. So as you're listening, think, which of these words really fits your home?
Good exercise. And then there's the social side, too.
Right. Who do you live with? Is it your parents, your family? Do you have flatmates or roommates?
Or maybe you live by yourself.
That adds a whole other layer to the picture, doesn't it?
It really does.
Yeah.
Okay, finally, zooming out a bit. The neighborhood.
Yeah, the wider environment. Where is your home located?
Is it right in the city center? Or out in the suburbs?
Maybe a smaller village, or are you way out in the middle of nowhere?
Huh. Hopefully not too isolated. And what's the vibe? Is it quiet or is it lively?
Is it trendy? Or maybe, let's be honest, a little bit boring?
Are there good amenities nearby? Shops, cafes, parks?
Putting all of that together, the house type, the rooms, the feel, the location, the neighborhood vibe, that's how you paint a really complete picture.
Yeah. And understanding these terms, it's not just about talking about your own place.
Not at all. It helps you understand descriptions everywhere, in books you read, movies you watch, even when you're looking at, say, real estate listings online.
It just deepens your whole comprehension of this everyday world.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay, we have really covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
From all the different types of homes and their, hidden features.
For the really specific words for every little nook and cranny.
And even how to talk about how your space feels and the vibe of your neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
This deep dive should, hopefully, give you a great shortcut to feeling well-informed about this whole topic.
And remember, the real goal isn't just like memorizing a list of words.
Right.
It's about active observation. Like one source suggested, maybe try walking around your own house right now. See what you can name.
Or even stick labels on things if you're really keen.
Whatever works. It's about connecting these words to your actual real life, making them part of your world.
So thinking about your own space now,
Mm-hmm.
what's one thing in your home, or maybe one detail about your neighborhood, that we didn't specifically mention, but you feel like you could describe pretty confidently now using some of the vocabulary we've unpacked?
That's a great final thought.
Keep learning, keep exploring your surroundings, and we'll see you next time for another deep dive.